John Michaels, he hosts mornings on 680 The Fan in Atlanta. You can hear him nationally on ESPN Radio as well at times. He's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. He is broadcasting this week at ACC Media Days in Charlotte. So you have any first day takeaways? I'm sure did you speak with Mario today? Did you speak with Carson Beck? What was on your agenda?
Yeah, we spoke with both Mario and Carson Beck. I think me and Mario are now best friends. I think we
really, because you had texted me that he was not going to be happy with you.
No, he makes me nervous. I mean, he's not a little dude, and he walks in very intense. But when he saw all the ink, he gave me good dap. We spent literally 20 plus minutes with Mario, and then had a chance to talk to him afterwards. And that's my guy. So yeah, I'm ready for a big year for Coach Cristobal.
Oh, you're muted, Crowder. Crowder's trying to ask you a question, but he's muted. He's up in New Jersey.
I had a great question planned, John. My question was off the chain. I was just muted. No, we talked about this earlier in the show, John, about Carson Beck, where my thing is he is a two-time national champion, but he's not an All-American. And now he's playing with a lesser supporting staff because Georgia was loaded when they were winning. Like, do you see Carson coming in? He's not going to be Cam Ward. We know he's not going to be Cam Ward. But I don't see him. I'll put my opinion out there, John. I don't see him coming in and just now becoming an ACC quarterback of the year or anything like that. Do you think he can do that coming to Miami under this offense? Because I questioned Cam when he came from Washington, and then he did what he did.
Right. I do think he can do all of that. And I'm gonna disagree a little bit. You know, he wasn't the starting quarterback when they won national titles. That was Stetson Bennett. Carson did take them to an SEC title game 2 years ago. They won the SEC championship last year. But I didn't think it was supporting cast, especially on the offensive side a season ago, was very good. Their O-line was mediocre to Georgia standards. Their receivers led the country in drop passes a year ago, and they couldn't run the ball, which is, you know, again, goes against everything that Kirby Smart preaches at UGA. I think he has a chance. Like, we had a chance, obviously, to vote for players of the year and everything, and I've got Carson Beck. Now, was there some orange and green homerism around that? Absolutely. But I think him and Cade Klubnik are going to be the two best quarterbacks in the ACC. And Crowder, we had a chance to talk to Carson. It's the first time I've had sit down. It was my show and Carson, and we probably spent close to 25 minutes talking to him. And I couldn't have been more impressed because we get that whole preconceived notion and all the conversation about him being a bad teammate, and some of the stuff that happened allegedly at Georgia that he wasn't around. I did not get that impression at all. Very engaging, very outgoing. And he even said, I'm an introvert away from football. He goes, but, he talked to us from everything from working with the receivers, getting to know people, what it was like to transfer in, how hard he's had to work, to kind of be accepted, all of that different stuff. And I think he's got a chance to have a sensational year coming up in 2025.
Man, I hope you are right, man. Mm-hmm. The early line, I forget who we asked. Oh, I guess Lee Sterling. The early line for the Notre Dame game at the end of next month is Notre Dame -3. You have an early lean?
Give me the money line in Miami. I'm not worried about no damn Notre Dame coming to town. And now, look, they run the football really well with Jeremiah Love. They've got a really good defense, although they lost pieces and they lost their defensive coordinator in Al Golden. They're starting a redshirt freshman quarterback who's never started a game. And I get it. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami is not always the loudest place. But when it's full, once or twice a year, and the maniac Miami fans like myself come out of hiding and decide to be loud, it's going to be different. And if Corey Heatherman can do anything, change the fortune of the defensive side of the ball, get after it, stop the run. And Minnesota was a top 10 statistical defense a year ago where he didn't have half the talent he has at Miami. Make a redshirt freshman quarterback come out and throw. And to Crowder's point about Carson Beck, while he may not have been the perfect quarterback at Georgia, he played at Alabama. He played at Texas. He played in SEC championship games. He played in monster games everywhere. Playing against Notre Dame is not going to have any fear or anything for him. I think Notre Dame walks in and walks out of there with a loss. Maybe not as resounding as it was when they played them all the way back in 2017 and we beat the Irish off those dudes. But I think they come to Miami and they leave out of there lower in the rankings than they were when they walked in. I think Miami's got a real good shot to beat them.
And John, you up there at SEC Media Day. In the SEC, is it the normal people? You know, it's Texas, it's Georgia. Even being a Gator, like I know we have some ways to go. Even hell, Tennessee looks good. What do you see in the SEC? It's a way too early top 10, I guess, whatever it is. But is it Texas, Georgia 1 and 2? And where does it go from there?
You know, it's crazy, Crowder. We were at SEC Media Days last week, and it's almost like the media just read magazines and all they heard was Arch Manning, because overwhelmingly people in that building think Texas is going to run away with everything. And I said, you know, I think Texas will be good. Arch Manning's starts are against UT San Antonio. I think it was maybe Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State. So he's never played in a monster matchup where he was a starting quarterback. Oh, guess what? They start the year on the road against Ohio State. I think Texas will be good, but I don't know that they're going to be, you know, run away with the SEC. I think Georgia, crazy, is a little bit overlooked, partly because Carson Beck's gone. Nobody knows anything about Gunnar Stockton. They brought in a bunch of transfers at receiver. You know, they're replacing a ton of pieces on defense, even though Georgia reloads with 5-star after 5-star. I think people are overlooking them, and I truly think Alabama's due for a bounce back. I think all of us wanted to bury Bama, obviously, with what happened last year, losing to Vandy and Oklahoma, losing your bowl game to a bad Michigan team. But, you know, you get Kalen DeBoer getting his offensive coordinator back, Ryan Grubb, who spent 1 year in Seattle with the Seahawks. I think their quarterback in Ty Simpson is a better fit for what they want to do. I think Milroe was a better quarterback, but Simpson will be a better fit, and they loaded up once again. To answer your question, I think it's the usual suspects. Throw LSU in there, who brought 18 transfers in. They have a quarterback returning in Garrett Nussmeier, who's been there before, and Brian Kelly better win now, because you can't keep losing 3 games in LSU and think that everything's going to be okay.
Speaking of the usual suspects in the SEC, and of course, Crowder has to bring up the SEC. So fine, I'll piggyback. I'll play ball, Crowder. John, I know you loved Rhett Lashley just ripping the SEC to shreds today with what I believe to be a factual statement where he's like, hey, 6 schools for the last 60 years have won titles out of the SEC. Nobody else. There's no depth there, as much as, you know, guys like Crowder want to make it believe like every SEC school could go win any other conference that they wanted to.
No, they can't. And it's so spot on what Rhett Lashley said today. You think about the teams that consistently win it. We just talked about them. Throw Florida in there. I give the Gators credit. Tennessee, give them credit. They won titles. Kentucky's not winning anything. Ole Miss, for all the flash and style of Lane Kiffin, they're not winning a damn thing. Mississippi State's not winning anything. South Carolina, maybe this year. Maybe. Got a quarterback, got a defensive lineman in Dylan Stewart, who's really, really good. But those teams historically don't win anything. You know what they do, Solana? They piggyback off the rest of the conference. Mm-hmm. They go, ooh, we're in the big bad SEC, and their weirdo fans chant SEC at you. And it's like, dude, you just cheered against Tennessee 2 weeks ago. Now you're cheering for them because you're an SEC fan. There's no depth. There's no depth in every conference. Every conference has about 4 teams that are better than everybody else, and everybody else in the conference maybe has 1 year out of 10 that they rise up and do something. So Coach Lashley was spot on. We had a chance to talk to his quarterback, Kevin Jennings. That kid's got it together. You know, he's not going to beat Miami in November, but I wish him a lot of luck the rest of the season.
What just happened?
SEC, what he's saying, Crowder, is kind of like Girl Scout cookies, miniature golf, or sweet potato fries. Which is, we're hypnotized to believe that, you know, oh, they're so good and miniature golf is so fun. But if you really break it down, no one likes miniature golf. No one likes sweet potato fries. No one likes Girl Scout cookies. SEC is not as deep and as good as you think. And to be quite honest, with the AAC rebranding as the American and having an eagle as a mascot, we're really going to need to start talking about that.
Guys play out of the SEC that can't play in the SEC. I'll tell you that much.
He's falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, John. It's just
is that mute button still working up there?
It's so sad to see it. Hey, are you watching Quarterback on Netflix?
I didn't, and that's because Kirk Cousins is on there. We played a lot of the cuts. Obviously, for us locally, he was the story. Yeah, we don't. Do the Dolphins need a backup? Please come get him.
We actually do. I would take him in a heartbeat over Zach Wilson. You think the Dolphins made a mistake having Zach Wilson as the backup for Tua?
Look, if Tua's hurt, it doesn't matter who's back there. You could have Kirk Cousins. You could have Brett Favre. Hell, you might be able to trot out Big Dan at this point. Zach Wilson was a unmitigated bust, like one of the worst second overall picks ever. But he's a backup quarterback. Anytime you're going to your backup quarterback, you're in a little bit of trouble. I would have liked to see the Dolphins get a veteran who maybe can come in, assuming that Tua's going to miss 4 or 5 games somewhere throughout the regular season. That's what I said. Call Terry Fontenot. Get Chris Greer on the phone. Call Terry Fontenot. See what they want for Kirk Cousins. We'll take Zach Wilson right now just to get Kirk Cousins out of town.
Why? Wait a second. Why? I love this guy on quarterback. You want who's going to be the starter?
Oh, it's Penix. It's not even a doubt. Kirk Cousins is the backup. Here's why. So the whole saga that unfolded last year, we were all in on Kirk. You're 6-3. He clearly got hurt against New Orleans, and I know they showed this on the quarterback documentary.
Yes.
He gets hurt. He tells the trainer he's hurt. They then have a bye week, or I think they play Denver the next week. They get obliterated like 38-6. Then there's a bye week. He's clearly hurt. They asked him point blank because he showed up on the injury report on a Wednesday, and he goes, no, I'm not hurt. It's a clerical error. He then goes out to have 2 more weeks after the bye week, a bye week in which instead of staying and getting treatment, he went to Michigan to get his jersey retired and spent a week up there. Came back then, threw 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions. The season unravels. After the season, he then goes during Super Bowl week and goes, yeah, I was hurt during the season. And he calls our owner, Arthur Blank, and basically begs to be traded to a place where he can be a starter. And now he goes on Netflix and they have the whole thing with, oh, my arm, oh, I was hurt. I don't feel bad for him at all. He's been a thief his career. He's had a career where he's made over $300 million, and he has 1 more playoff win than Hawk and I have combined as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
I think it's proof that he's a gamer.
Yeah.
You believe in Penix, though, or you just want something different?
I like what I see out of Penix. I mean, it was a really small sample size last year. We got to see him start 3 games. 2 of the games we were down in the 4th quarter, and he led game-tying touchdown drives. Unfortunately, we lost both the games because we never touched the ball in overtime, and the defense was an absolute sieve. The kid has a cannon for an arm. He can make every throw. He's done everything right in the offseason, but it's obviously a wait and see. His completion percentage was under 60%, which I don't like. And I think a lot of times he was big play hunting. He's got to find a way in the NFL to get that percentage up 65, 67%. But he's got all the tools that we're looking for. And we've got offensive pieces around him that really can make some plays and maybe put up some big numbers in the league.
John Michaels, he's at ACC Media Days in Charlotte. Enjoy Charlotte. What do they got up there? They got like cookout. What do they have for like
barbecue?
Food there? But that fast food place called Cookout. That's like a famous chain.
Yeah.
No, here Cookout's great. They have those in Georgia. Any place you can get chicken nuggets as a side instead of fries is a friend of mine. And at Cookout, you can go there and be like, hey, I want a number 2, but give me nuggets instead of fries as my side. So you get a burger and nuggets. Oh, you can't have a better place than that.
Why don't more places offer that? I didn't even know that was a thing. I know at Raising Cane's you can get double toast. That way you forego the coleslaw. You get 2 pieces of their delicious toast. You're telling me at Cookout you can sub nuggets for fries?
Yes. And that's what makes Cookout a very, very must-stop place when you're in Georgia or the Carolinas.
Oh, my God. I got to consider moving. That's unbelievable. It's no upcharge?
No. Well, maybe there's, I don't know, 49 cents. I'm not sure what the upcharge is anymore. I have kids, so when I look, like I go to a fast food place and they're like $52.05. Excuse me? I'm like, I don't want to work here. I want a couple of number 3s. Like, what the hell's going on?
Isn't that crazy? You literally can't get a pizza delivered for less than $30. Like it's ridiculous. It's crazy. I remember my dad like going out with my mom and handing me a $10 bill and going, hey, if you want to get a pizza tonight, just make sure you leave me the change.
The change.
Wouldn't get a slice and a drink nowadays.
If I give my kid, like anytime Kane asks me for money now, and he loves to do this now, Dad, and it's not, Dad, can I get 10? Dad, I need 15. What do you need 15 for? Oh, I'm at Zaxby's. The hell are you getting at Zaxby's? It's 15. Well, I want the milkshake as well. Like if I give him $10, he wouldn't be able to eat.
It's very difficult to get a meal for $10, even at a fast food place.
100%. If you go into Mickey D's, you can still get the Big Mac meal. Now, you better not upcharge it. You better not get the large fries and the large Coke. And by the way, the large Coke's overrated. The amount of soda that they give you is almost it's almost like stroke-inducing, the amount that they give you. Like those cups, they're too big. Nobody needs all of that.
Hey, John, the birthday cake milkshake at Zaxby's, and have you ever tried the fried cheesecake bites with like the little strawberry dipping sauce?
Oh, I've not had that one. We love. They've got the loaded fries now, which again is just great. They pile chicken and sauce and everything on this at Zaxby's. The birthday cake milkshake is fantastic. But what was the one you just said? Cheesecake, fried cheesecake was. Oh man,
fried cheesecake bites, and they give you like a little. I don't know if it's strawberry or like a little dipping sauce. Oh, so good, man, delicious.
$76.
But you're there in Atlanta. You got the Varsity right there. I mean,
the Varsity is garbage, Hawk. I'm telling you, the Varsity
you got to
is
eat
garbage.
at the Varsity, man. That's where the good food is.
No. The hot dog is one of the 5 most useless food items on a menu ever. Why would I ever go somewhere to get a hot dog? Never, ever in my life.
Please tell him the Varsity is just good marketing. The food is garbage.
Yeah, it's one that if you stop at in the late night and you need to clear out the system, it's the perfect place to clear out the system.
I refuse to believe that. I've never been to the Varsity, but I refuse to believe that it's garbage. There's no way it could have been around this long with it being garbage.
No, it's got a prime location in downtown, right across the street from Georgia Tech's campus. That's how it got famous. People go there to park their car. Nobody's going there for the actual food.
Exactly. So, Anna, you went to the away game at Georgia Tech, right? Isn't that where you wear the, the very subtle clothing? Did you and Eduardo walk across? Did you walk across the street to the Varsity?
Wasn't subtle. I met up with John Michaels at that game. He saw I was wearing a hat. And no, we did not walk across the street to the Varsity. But
was stitched on the inside of the hat, right? Because you didn't want to get beat up at the Georgia Tech game. Isn't that what I remember?
It was not stitched inside the hat. This is what I deal with, John. One picture with my hat turned back, and all of a sudden I was hiding from Georgia Tech fans all game.
I've never seen a fan go to a Georgia Tech game wearing royal blue and a backwards hat.
What'd you say? Nothing.
What I'm trying to figure out, Hawk, as you said, him get beat up at Georgia Tech. Of all campuses in the world, the last campus you have to worry about getting beat up is Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he gets a little mouthy. That could happen anywhere. He can get beat up at Temple. All right. And I'm not talking about the college. All right. We'll see you, John. We appreciate your time.
All right, guys.